If you do not understand the total market cap, you're going to lose at this game. You might get lucky, but you're not going to get great. And understanding the money flow is so important if you're on these slower trades and swing trading, which we're about to show you the trades that we've been in since day one. Part of our strategy has always been take profits, because if you don't, I will. And I always like to say, lamb is on the menu. Not financial advice, a fucking course.
What up, everybody? Welcome to your Daily Fix. Show 66. Let's fix together. It's safer. Not financial advice, of fucking course. NFA OFC. Check us out on YouTube, because then you can write comments if you're in there. I want to see some comments. I don't think you can do that from X. Let's get Hope out here already, because I want to talk to him. Hey, buddy. Oh, you looking... Gave us a little sly, little sexy look there for a sec. It was quick. I want to say hi to you before we start the money flow cycle, because you're still away.
I am late tomorrow night. I should be home. Well, I guess early Saturday morning. I shall be home. It's been nice to see friends and family and visit the place over here. Internet's never as good, and you realize how much that sucks. But outside of that, it's been great to see. It's been a nice time.
Next Monday midnight, you'll get to have your own internet for the Daily Fix. Feeling good about that?
I'm loving it, and I'm excited. We got some trades in this week, and it's been good. And I'm excited for what's to come. So,
well, sounds good. So why don't we start with the money flow cycle? Market cap, dominance, Bitcoin, ETH gives us a heads up on how the money's moving in the market, so we can make more educated decisions. So Pope, come on up. Tell me what I should be looking for.
Let's do it. First, where we always start, let's make it a little bigger. Hold on, which is the best way? Primo, help me out there. There we are. All right, we got this. We always want to look at where the money and what the money is doing in the market cap of all of crypto. And what we've been talking about since this happened, we went over this whole crash in Discord, wrote this up, sold out. And we started looking at entries yesterday, a nice red candle, because we're right in the middle. But we've been holding this inner box of consolidation in this price point from 2.5 to 2.35 trillion amount in. And with the narrative and how we're in this bullish wedge here, we're expecting to continue to take this rise. The halving's coming up. There's all sorts of things. And it looked like we had some good entries. I still very bullish. I believe money will be flowing into the market, and we are following that plan of how many times I've drawn this out, where we come up and we just bounce around in this triangle, come out, get the retest before we can take off again. And that's the pattern that's been forming. That's the pattern we want to play. This white line here is, we were saying, if it's going to come down from here, there's a good indication it's either going to come to here or down here. We were hoping it was going to hold this strength. Resistance, support, the resistance, little weaker support, and now support. And that's why I was on the hunt in these days to get to here. Still healthy, still going strong, still bullish, still excited. Dominance is interesting. I had somebody give a view that I saw, and I was like, that's a really interesting view. and I wanted to have a look at it and share it because we do zoom out a lot, but then, when we're doing these faster trades, we're zoomed a lot more in on the market cap and the dominance and how that money is flowing in and out of Bitcoin and in and out of the market. And when we get a market surge of money, we know dominance is probably going to go up because it's going first straight into Bitcoin when it comes in. And so that causes a mad rush. Now, this is just quick and dirty. We just drew one line. And what do we know about, what do we know about our trend lines? We're at a retest after we have 3 touches on a weekly. This could be a massive breakout of dominance to the upside. Now, that would be good in the sense of mass money coming in, because typically we know if the money's not coming in and we get mass dominance, it's coming from the alts, and alts are bleeding. In this case, I believe the money is going to come in. It's just a question of when. This is what our tools don't tell us. We get really good ideas of how things are going to go. We just don't get the when. They're not that tight of a crystal ball. And Kate and I were talking earlier about having faith in your tools. And it would be nice to see this continue to go up rapidly to get the money in, and then do some of this kind of stuff to keep the money in the market, but run into the alts, and we can finally switch to an alt season. We are not in it. We are still in a Bitcoin season, and this is what this is all about. So I thought on the weekly to see those 3 touches, that was pretty neat. And we hadn't actually zoomed out that much on the dominance, and we're usually looking at this 4-hour, and we were in this band here for so long, which was nice. This was nice to trade. When it's predictable, it's a lot easier to trade. But we knew we were coming down on the daily as well. Now we can really see a different picture here and take off. Excited, bullish. Let's see what this weekend brings. I think the CPI and the PPI were kind of what we talked about. Apprehension, a little maybe anxiety prior, and no real big surprises, and everyone's got it back to normal. So what it did do is it gave us some entries, and it gave us some opportunities. In Bitcoin, I mean, oops, sorry. We've been talking about this wedge formation, not only in the market cap, but a lot in Bitcoin. And right now, because it is a Bitcoin cycle, there's a lot of altcoins that are almost exactly these patterns. They're mimicking Bitcoin. That's why we always say Bitcoin is the barometer. Right? And on the daily, let's clean this up. Probably did that quick and dirty somewhere. You want to do Wix or candle bodies there? Let's do Wix because it's zoomed out more.
I've been doing Wix recently, which is always very interesting to me. I see it differently when you do Wix, which is maybe good.
It helps with a few different things. I mean, like I said, there's no real right or wrong, and that's kind of why some people don't like technical analysis. But if you use it, it works a lot of the time, statistically, a crazy amount of the time. And it just kind of gives you that nuance, I feel. And I don't know, it's like a Bob Ross painting video. I find it quite soothing.
But either way, if you're choosing Wix, do all Wix. If you're choosing bodies, don't mix and match.
Thank you. solid point. You stick to one or the other. This we've just been moving along as, you know, it needs to come out, retest before it can take off, consolidate. I'm just going to clean this up a bit just so we can really watch how close we are getting into this pattern and how it has just been playing it. We are still spread. We're still pointing to the upside. We are nowhere near a sell in stochastic and right in the middle of RSI. All of this is healthy. We have no critical greed, no critical fear firing. And how we were talking about in the Discord last night, like when everything is in the middle, and we've had a few places now where I've taken those screenshots and shared them, and everything's just static in the middle. And it's not giving us an indication to up or down. That's where you have to use your judgment, your patience, and wait if you don't want to risk going down or misrun on the out. Those are always the things. I think the big picture
or zoom out. Yeah. Sorry, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, no, totally. And correct. And that's where the patience and understanding, you know, these kind of trades aren't shit coins. You know, like you can take your time. Good traders, the time is research. And to come up with all these trades that I found for the show yesterday, that was days of work, not including all the fundamental research on our trading lists and, you know, all that kind of stuff on top of that. And it's that patience and looking and trusting our indicators and using them. We made a couple of mistakes. That makes us better traders. So Bitcoin doing exactly what I think it needs to be doing. It's right in the middle of everything. If we zoom in on like the very last few days, I mean, that wedge is getting tight. Compression, it wants to break. All the narrative is there and things like that. It's just a matter of time. And this one is on the 4 hour. That's why it doesn't make sense right here. So on the 4 hour, we are holding. I gotta remember where I just had this because we were following this channel, but yet that channel broke. So I do want to get to where we shifted and tighten up the quick and dirties. We'll take that as our shift. So we did give 2 entries on Bitcoin a while ago. The stink bid didn't stink. We missed it completely. But we did get our entry here, which was more a realistic bid, which was the bottom of that consolidation box of this part. And I mean, since then to now, we hit the entry right there. Current price right now today, you're in a week, you're up 8% with Bitcoin, healthy. And there was so much fear and it's over and it's going down and wasn't the bull run great? And we're still in this path up. We're at a very tight compressed micro bull on the 4 hour right now. Clearly we are in this area of support resistance now. On the 4s, this is the dailies, but we could quickly, I'll delete it so it doesn't get too messy in here. But we can see we are definitely now going to be fighting this section of the daily compression on the shorter time frames, and holding these bottoms on the shorter time frames becomes so important because it means we're not going back down to these ones typically, right? Like this is showing strength here. We went up, we pulled back, now we're strength here. All we want is these steps. right? This makes sense because look where it is. People took profits and then, you know. So I think we're going to keep having this. I think our next major area contention, 71,648, and then that 72,417 is going to be very tight for Bitcoin, and where we'll probably see our bounces and retracements. I mean, just would make sense. And if it's going to come down a bit because money's leaving the market, it makes sense. It's probably going to hold this high 68, 69s, might get some wicks, but it's still carrying these daily lines that we tightened up now. Just we got less quick and dirty with it, but we're still doing great. I'm not scared of anything that's happening. I think we're very healthy in positions here for what's going on. If I'm not on the wick there, I don't want to be on the wick there. Just noticing it now. And it's going to be the longer we can have these nice ups, pullbacks, consolidations, nice ups, the longer we can do these in these W formations for the next 10 to 8 months, it's better for all of us. I don't want this to be an all-time high, turn around, and now we're down. We've got some time here. There's no rush.
We want to get the benefit of riding some waves, you know?
Yeah, and like long-term holds will be doing well and things like that. ETH. Oh, ETH. All right. So we gave 2 entries to ETH. Our second one hit, or our first one hit. We thought this would be a bit of a stink bid, and it didn't. Our curl of where we thought the micro bear belly was going to be was bang on. We thought we were going to have a little bit of trouble getting out of the weekly resistance consolidation. I mean, we did on one candle, it went up, pulled back, and then here we just blew right through it. Obviously, we talked about how much profit that is. It makes sense that people took it, got the bullish cross, mellowing out on the daily. And our next area contention on the daily is going to be this 37.26 again. Outside of the one missed call of the cup and a handle to happen earlier over here, we pretty much called Ethereum since day one of the show, which has been great. I sound like a broken record when I say it. It just hasn't had its due. There's a whole lot to come. I think Base is going to switch a few things, and the new upgrade, Dogen, or whatever it is, I can never remember what it's called. Dogen, or whatever it was, where the gas issues on the layer 2s have become a lot better. And it's been absolutely noticeable. I think people are starting to realize how shit of a blockchain Solana is and how much it fails. And what they didn't like about ETH was the cost. And now all these layer 2s are fixing that. So it's only a matter of time, in my opinion, for the narrative shift to go back to ETH eventually. But it will take some time.
Not financial advice, fucking course. Not financial advice.
Love it.
Sorry.
And Solana does have an upgrade coming, and I'm not fading it as in don't buy, don't love, don't hate it, just trade it. We made some great money on Solana so far this year. But in comparison to blockchains, the blockchains, when it comes down to the tech, they are apples and oranges. So right now, our big 4 that we always talk about is this, and this is what we call the money flow cycle. Understand how the money moves into the whole environment of crypto. Where it is in the crypto is the dominance. Obviously, Papa Bear and Mama Bear here. And when we can understand those, it gives us just better insight to the market, as the Crypto Katie always says, and it gets you better in trades. And when we can get our trades that much better, we do better. And we're going to switch it up a bit.
Killer segue, bro. This is what I wrote this down on my list as sheep shit. So as we're coming up 34 days, it seems like a long time that we're sitting here counting all the way up. So we thought that we would check in every Friday, like how we did through the week. I was also thinking, or Monday, like how we did over the weekend, or if one of us fucks up bad. So that happens on a Wednesday. That happens on Monday at midnight. We're going to talk about it and tell you maybe what we did, how we effed up, and if if you're too embarrassed, that's okay. All this stuff is hard. It's embarrassing to admit when you fuck up. I find it hilarious to tell the stories. Yeah, so I think we're gonna watch a short clip. So yeah, we'll watch a short clip. That is gonna start probably April 19th, next Friday, of our chicken sheep shit, as I've written down. And let's do roll it.
We'll do a little video and then
Yeah,
we'll get
let's roll a video.
into our trades. Let's do it. Time in the market will outplay time, especially if you're just learning. That's why I said this should always just be the small part. Learn the nuances with a little bit. Hold the good projects. Take these 20s, 40s. Some of these have been 84% beam. Hello. Right? Stacks. Hello. We have talked about the while it's been consolidating. I went for the next little bit more of a pullback and I'll load up the bags again. If you're always looking for that perfect entry for the long term, you could be standing on the sidelines for the whole damn game.
So we are going to go over what we went yesterday, the ones you really want to focus on, what you did. Let's fucking go, Pope. LFG.
Let's do it. For those in the Discord, in the alt analysis section, the alt channel analysis, you will see screenshots of all of the entries we did. You will see screenshots of the purchases, the limit buys, and the process of these trades that we're going to go along through like we've done on the previous trades on the show. We're just going to do things a little differently in the Discord and how we share it for viewers here and there. So let's dig into it. We hit some. I mean, we really hit some, and we made a couple of whoopsies. But Kate and I were having this discussion. A whoopsie or a mistake isn't a chicken or a sheep thing. Panicking or not assessing that mistake is then now where you start to enter that territory. And we got right now here live today from our show last night, from our entries, even with the red pullbacks and not perfect entries, we're at 0.22% profit, which is equating to about $200 ish. And you'll see where they are. We've missed. Oh, I lied. I just updated. We're at 0.43 and we're at $400. Cool. There you go. Now, never keep refreshing and looking at that. That's enough ways to drive you nuts as a trader. What you want to look at when you're in the trades is in your journal and in your mind, how'd we do? Because these trades were for the longer time. These are not short in and outs, hello, goodbye trades. And we're going to do some of those live streaming next week if the market is right at the time. So we gave 3 entries here, hoping that we were going to get the belly here. We got 1 entry here, 1 entry here, and then a stink bid really low. And clearly we hit both these entries. What I also did at technically right now we have 3 because I bought the current price when I logged in. I can't remember what it is. It's in the Discord. And then, so I wanted to try an experiment because on the show, we talk a lot about, well, if you don't want to worry about, do I wait another 8 hours or another 6 hours, or can I get that limit entry perfect? And you've heard me say, if you don't want to fuck around with that, just buy it. These little fractions between now and 4 to 6 weeks from now probably aren't going to matter that much. And then you're in the game. So for the experiment, for the sake of this, I put $1,000 on the current price at that time. I'd have to check the time stamp in the Discord. It was about an hour after the show. And then I put 1,000 on each entry, kind of a thing. Following the strategy, never go all in. Have your limit entries to dollar cost your entry. And then let's see how we did a little while later and how it planned out. And that's what we're just going to kind of quickly go over here now. If anyone has questions, fire them to the Crypto Katie. She'll pass them on to me because I can't see anything at the moment. And we'll go from there. So these two hit. This was a pretty low stink bid. And this is where we could be taking notes. Like, we probably could have kept this somewhat down to in here, this bottom consolidation, and we would have been even that much more in profits. And we are bullish long term on all of these. So I'm not going to keep saying that on every one. So some of these we even talked about might have a dip from where we entered. Hence the buy right now and put the rest in and see where it goes. So our long-term goal is the top here. That's our first goal. Sorry, our first short-term goal, top of this consolidation. Long-term goal is here. We will be taking profits along the way. You know, we will hold this line, this weekly support. Looks like we're waiting for the breakout, and that's what we were anticipating. So far, we're actually in profit in this trade, which is great. How much? Not much. But we just got in it, and this is a slow trade. So those two hit, just quickly cut both to current price, 1.37% since our last show. Not bad. Aave was a whoopsie. We were hoping it was really going to hold this line, worst case, maybe come back down to here and turn. Well, clearly it came right down to the weekly support. So we now have, when I entered and even on the Discord, I said I believed this one sailed through. One of these was, it already sailed through. So I bought the current price, ignored obviously putting a higher price in and bought the bottom. So I think we have this one and the current price at the time, which was somewhere in there. Now what I want to do strategy-wise, if I'm in Aave, well, I am in Aave, we want to see this belly. We got in early. Not a sheep move, not a FOMO move. It was based on this consolidation block. And then thinking, maybe a wick to here. We didn't have such tight compression at the time. So if we can get this belly and confirmation, and we can hold this area to play safer, I'm going to wait more of a belly. So it means the price will probably come up to here-ish. But I'm now in confidence, more confidence that the price is moving to the upward direction, right? And as soon as we have that confirmation, I will match this entry. So I remember I said, I can't remember. I know we didn't do this one or this one. So I think, so if we're in for 2,000 on this trade, when I have this confirmation, I'll put the next two into dollar cost entry to ride it up to our target. That's sensible trading.
You say not to look at these things all the time. How often are we going to check in on these ones?
Well, we'll be checking in on all of the trades that were in the show on the show. If it's not much going on, it's quick and it's 20 seconds. Here we are. We're done.
We'd be like, nothing much. We want to hold this. We'll move on.
Yep.
Got it.
So Algorand, let's take off some of these. Our two entries on Algorand, current price, this one, and our low ball. Our low ball didn't hit, unfortunately. But we got the current price at the time. I'll go back in and I'll actually mark them. That'll be a good idea. And then this current entry right here. So depending on where it got in and there, we're probably in some profit there already too. And we're in this belly. I like to be in the belly. We don't have the best indication yet saying, oh, come on, saying it's right off to the races. It could turn, and that's why we have this entry still. And I'll leave this one in here just in case it does decide to dump, and then we catch it. So Algorand, happy with. I have a feeling we are at the belly. I mean, we haven't been down in this area for some time. So continue to watch. Didn't get our stink bid on the low line. And we talked about how we missed a lot of stink bids before because they were too low. And so let's move them up. And some of them we moved up a little bit too much, and some of them we didn't move up enough. And that's that nuance, that balance you learn the more you do with it. And the better you get at it, believe it or not, it's lame. It's your trading journal. It's taking those notes and understanding how many percent did you miss. But look, this belly. Like, this is what I love to see. And, hope that it just does this. And then now we're off, in an upwards direction. And that's our goal on this one was, remember, like some of these we found, we have some juicy targets to get to just from current price to our second target, 39%. I believe this was about 100 and something. And not saying we're going to go up, but AVAX, I believe, is going to have a ton of room to run this bull run with everything that's been built on it. We've been talking AVAX since we started the show. I would have to go back to the first original hunt, but I probably gave you an entry in January. And if you bought it then and you're still holding, you're howling. Good on you. Cello is another example of a little bit of a whoopsie. But if we look at it, we had that belly. All right. We had that indication. We hit the current price and all three entries on this. And now it's looking like it wants to belly here and turn. And this is what we're hoping for. And it may fight in this price. Once I have confirmation that we're in a zone that's stable and not going to go down anymore, same thing, I will read dollar cost entry here again, the total amount that I've invested in for the ride up. I don't have that yet. I mean, we're close. We're in a buy here. We have started. I'm going to wait. And if it takes off all of a sudden and you're up in these areas, then you don't have to dollar cost entry and it happened faster, just as fast as it went below your entry levels. It sometimes goes right back up. And you don't have to tie up capital to dollar cost entry. Technically, you could do it right now, but I don't have indication that there is no more downward pressure yet. So I don't want to catch falling knives and keep doing this action of buying into dollar cost entry. Catching falling knives means you keep doing that. We'll wait. We'll see. So Cello, we've also made a ton of money on Cello this year. This was one of our January picks as well. It's in this formation. It's doing well. Very bullish. Just another example of that short we started. There's no such thing as a perfect entry. Even with some of these mistakes we made, with all of them, we're still in profit already. And that's what you got to focus on. And focus on how can you learn from these little whoopsies. I've never said I know everything or I'm a perfect trader. I make mistakes all the time. But I am still very good at what I do. And the only reason I am is because you just keep learning. And you learn from other people and you learn from your own mistakes. DOT. I've been saying DOT's waiting for a nice big breakout. If you can load bags up, DOT hasn't had its day. I believe realistically, not financial advice, 23.25 is a very reasonable target for DOT. Now, the only thing we got to watch with DOT is that on the weekly, we don't turn, but we have our outs, and we should in 2 days be having our retest and go. That's what we've been playing, so to speak, for lack of better terms, on this token. And hopefully what we're looking for here is where this just does now start to cool, and this becomes our support. And we caught 2 nice entries. Now, we could have got a little lower, could have been a little better, of course. Never going to time bottoms to tops perfectly, but if this is how it plays out and we nailed it, hell yeah. Phantom. Same thing. We did not have a pinch, and we had indication to the upward side. We definitely came down, and now we're starting to get that belly. Hopefully this is a real nice soft one. We do have 3 entries. This here is a poor Bollinger Band entry. Lots of red. Yeah. Still looking good. Not overly concerned for a possible re-entry. This may be close to its bottom. Give me a sec with this one. Yeah. I have a feeling that this was probably our low point right there.
My understanding that candle, what that middle candle means there, that's my understanding is a good sign at the bottom.
This one?
Yeah.
The hammer, it's or a pendle. That's a weak hammer. It's not a hammer because it's too thin up top. That is because that's a very bullish sign to the upward trend. The reason why is we've had a lot of downwards pressure. Good eye for the record. A lot of downwards pressure. All right. So 11% in 16 hours. But what this candle here is showing you that it's come all the way back up. So it's done that third or whatever that is. I don't know, sorry, but yeah, quarter of it came back in one candle, came over, and now it's been bullish. It will pull back a bit because from here, you know, to here, 5.37 in 8 hours, people take some profits, hence where it's now. And we may over here on the next candle pull down a bit, and then on the next candle go up a bit. You know, it'll be interesting to see. Phantom, I just think, has so much life in it for the rest of this bull run. It's in a buy position on your stochastic. It's right in the middle of your RSI. Hasn't been down to these levels for a while. And we're on the weekly, 2 days left, but your weekly retest. And that to me is strength. Absolutely. So looking good. We'll keep a close eye on anything that affects these trades on either end. We might not be doing a show, but I'll mention it if I rebuy because I find the bottom at the time. I'll mention it in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, get in our DMs and get invited. It's more just all about the security as to why it's not just an open. It's open to friends, family, and everybody else. It's cool. I love this. This I think we should do more often. This one made me laugh when I checked it.
That's so fun. Yeah, that's stank bid, baby.
We did the first entry we gave was so close to the current price at the time. I just adjusted the line when I did it, labeled it, kept it the same label as current, but I took that as our entry. Then I bought the hopeful, and then I bought the Kate stink bid. So right now, actually, we are probably exactly at break even minus tiny little fraction with those 3 entries. And that's the power of having the strategy of dollar cost entry because you're never going to time it perfectly. So if you take 3 swings at bat, you know, now if we were here, we were only here, we're down. So here's a perfect example of how this works well. Kate, if you do a little better for me next time, come on now.
No,
Really?
I should know better.
0.55. Sheesh. No, great job.
What a failure.
Right. And exciting because we're at that belly, and just like a lot of these tokens, we've been holding this area. Looks bullish to continue. Fetch, just the whole AI, you know, the whole AI I was playing out. Can't find my words right now. I'm curious to see where all these are tomorrow. I'm so excited now that back in the market. Sideline seems like it takes forever. There's something to that for sure. So that was your first 8. Any questions or comments or concerns so far, Crypto
Oh
Katie?
man, we are just hanging out and watching and wishing that we had probably taken more of everybody that's listening. But
Well, we skipped.
feeling.
Sorry, go ahead.
You
No, go
said you
ahead.
skipped a couple that you've done and put money on, or that we did yesterday and you just didn't focus on?
No, we skipped Chainlink yesterday because we thought there would be more downward. It wasn't giving us the perfect entry, and we didn't give any because it was all the indicators weren't giving us any kind of confidence. And then it did exactly what Chainlink does and just kind of ripped a little bit. Filecoin. Did we not do entries for Filecoin? They're right there. What am I looking at here? There they are. Hit. This is on the daily, so that one would have hit. And I think we got that yesterday. So I think we're in for those 2 entries right there. So probably right around that even mark. Same thing. This needs to belly a little more. This obviously opened it up. I don't know why they're so far away from when we were looking at it.
Is that the weekly that we did it on?
No, I just think it was just because how it was compressed. I was on my travel computer versus my vault. But what we can see on the daily right now, just to do this, is definitely this wedge. So it's fighting in here, holding, and we still have an entry that it hasn't hit. So we might catch a stinky wick on the next couple. All of the entries that are in that haven't hit, I believe there's 5 of them. Just gonna double check right now. I will probably leave them in for a few days typically. And if it looks like we're never gonna see that area just due to we're off to the races, we're gonna cancel those, get the capital, and put the capital to work elsewhere. But just because it's bounced off here and gone, I'm not gonna cancel that. That's not enough reason for me to get rid of that bid yet. I want to get up, pull back, and retest it before I know this is gone. Right now, lots of strength, and it might come down a little bit, but in good position. This is great. Happiness, and this is going to be a good run. I'm excited about these next couple of weeks here.
So you're at the 7:45 mark. You're killing it.
This was the curve. we wanted to see for H bar, kind of somewhat following it. And we nailed 2 of our entries. Now I say that, I love when that happens live. That'll learn you, Jay. And same thing again, if this keeps going down and it doesn't belly, we will look for that re-entry. If it doesn't hold here and then we get somewhere in here, we would be nuts not to add another to dollar cost entry so we can be into profits as soon as we're up. You know, and that's why we always have reserves, dry powder, cash when you're in the market, because nobody can time this that perfect. We have indicators that help, but they're not that perfect. I mean, compared to a lot, they're better than most, but so H bar, very interesting. We'll definitely keep looking this. I mean, you know, there's our target. If you missed it, you know, so, and we have a nice down hit, retest, and off to the races. This would be, I think we found some good ones on this hunt. I was quite excited after the show, and then even with the re-entries. Link wasn't looking too hot. It was looking like we didn't have this curl. It was still looking like it wanted to do the continuation walk down this weekly line, and we talked about that. And I said I wanted to see the curl. We still don't have it on the daily. We're holding this line so tight on the weekly that I want a little more confirmation because we can pull right back down to it. And the Crypto Creator has told you quite a few times how many lists I've had this on. We haven't been down in this area in some time. I mean, we could technically, you know, draw some sort of consolidation box on the daily right there, and that has quite the spread. So I really want to see that we're going to walk this line because Chainlink, for being a layer 2 solution, and a lot of focus away from Ethereum and all of this right now, it just might shift. It just might continue to. Hold on a sec here. And I love Chainlink. I've done so love Chainlink. If I go to the last. This is interesting. And I mean, we have done this somewhat quick. This is your retest on the daily, and it's right at that junction of the weekly. I really think my gut is telling me it's going to do that. But I want to bet with my wallet, not my gut. And you can see we've already made like big mistakes. They were slight. We don't expect to be perfect. And we are already in profits, and these are longer trades. And to be in profits in your first day after a pullback is fabulous. Just with the attention and to be a little more secure, even if it goes up just a bit and you miss out on current price, not bad. What do you think, Kate? I'm curious as to your thoughts right now.
I'm feeling pretty strong without kind of poking around myself, you know, and messing with it. I feel like it might stick around to that weekly line going up there.
I think it might pull back right down to it and hold it 4 hours.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so you're thinking the same thing, like an entry here-ish?
Yeah, the thing is it's coming around to that bullish cross there. So that's the only thing. Are you anticipating a pullback at that point? Like a healthy pullback at that point?
Well, we're at 1 green candle, 2 green candle, 3 green candle, 4, all the way up to 5% in 12 hours. Get the cross. Typically, what happens after a bullish cross?
Pops down and then it
Red
goes off
candle.
to the races, as they say.
Yeah. So I'm thinking next candle, probably red bullish cross, red candle entry.
Mhm,
Let's do some
mhm.
entries for
So would
length.
you
I
put
think
some
this
3 little stink bids? My worry is it's gonna pop down far enough to hit that other yellow down there.
one?
Yeah.
That's your stink bid there?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Let me think about it. Where are you? Is the first one right up there?
Well, we haven't decided anything at the moment.
Oh, there's no decisions. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
I think we'll get to here. I think this would be if we look at maybe just above it, right? So now we're above this support. We're on the weekly line.
Yeah.
I think that's a sensible entry after a pullback of 3 green up. This one
I'm curious
looks
where
like
you're gonna put that one because I have an idea.
I would probably go right there because bottom wick. These wicks broke under. Might want to push under again like this did. But this isn't a downward motion here as opposed to an upward motion.
I would put it, I mean, that's a good one there. I mean, that's always kind of a little Hail Mary, especially with a wick.
Okay.
It may just come down a little bit, but you've got a nice wick down there. But I think you should kind of put one in the middle. Like kind of like the same lineup as usually do, right? I mean, you're gonna get these habits where it'll be the same percentages, or you'll learn them, and then with every coin, people will be able to learn those coins even closer, right? To understand the movement a little better. But a little further,
Up or
a little
down?
further, down, further down, further down, further down. I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when. There.
That's where you're going there. That's where you lowest bid or second bid?
That I thought we were just doing 3.
Okay.
That's my lowest bid.
This is your lowest.
That's my lowest.
And you would do like 1, 2, 3 like that then?
I don't even know if I would put that one there.
Where would you put it?
Well, down below, because that weekly line is also strong down there.
Oh, so you would keep that as your low. So we were.
Oh, I thought that was your choice. I thought we were choosing.
No. I'm trying to. Sorry, my apologies. I'm trying to line up what you think your 3 bids would be right here.
Oh, I got 3 bids. I thought we were playing.
Yeah. No,
okay, so that one. No.
Oh,
Stay right. Oh, don't ruin it. Oh, you're going too fast.
No worries.
Here we go. That one that you had at the very top there, that can go right on that line. Right on that yellow line down there. Yeah.
On it or just above it? On it.
I feel like it's fine. It's fine. Let's make it's quick and dirty. And then the top one. Top one I would bring down a wee bit too. I think that one's too high. That one's just a waste of money out there. A little bit down, one more. My favorite game. I don't know. There or a tad lower, but otherwise that's I'm feeling good. Oh, ballsy. Right, yeah, good. Yeah. Fucking love it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the others with Chainlink.
Dude, you gave me the worst coin.
I think Chainlink. I give you one of my favorite coins. You didn't have to. I'm sorry.
I'm just joking. Castling.
We'll do the same thing. I agree. I think this is a great entry point here. This might be a little hopium, which typically they are. I'm thinking we may have a little difficulty with this one. I think that might be a bit hopium too. I would be a little higher because I think Link has been forgotten about a little bit.
Let's make that Pope's bid.
That's gosh, I'll just put Kate. And then
Perfect.
there we are. That's a fun one. I enjoyed the last step. I think and the same thing is when I do go to enter this order, I will buy current price as well to follow the same idea of what we've been doing. And I'll be kind of watching. Where are we on this? We're in a sell position coming up, which makes sense. It would pull down, which it has been in lots of. Actually, you know what? Should we do current? I mean, that's what we did with all of the others. Why not?
Don't mess with the system. Don't mess with the
system. Keep it consistent. There we are. So that's Link. So we'll have some entries for you on Link. I thought we did Telcoin. Did we not?
I have
we
to be honest with you, I can't remember. It looks pretty blank in there, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it does look like the belly. We got an entry here. We're somewhat coming into an entry. Let's do Telcoin because I think we are coming into pretty tight lines. It looks like on the 4 hour. Let's have a quick look on the daily. Yeah. I mean,
I get excited when all those crosses start to line up in a row.
It could on the daily pull back. So let's have a look on the 4s. Let's zoom in. Let's get this a little bigger so we can see where we're going to put some bids here.
That's a very small percentage, isn't it, that you're bringing it down?
I don't know. Let's find out if you're ever in doubt. 1%.
I mean, we got to buy on the Bollinger Band, so I'm curious to see what happens after that.
Yeah, I mean, we could get a couple, right? It depends on how tight this stays, and it really looks tight. It doesn't look like it wants to go down. We're in a buy here, a buy here. I think this is hopium. I think this is too low.
Yeah, just based on the way the micro bull, micro bear is pointing.
We don't have a lot of there yet, but with everything that we've talked about and money coming, I think this is hopium. So what we can do is we can always, if it does go low, or like we were looking at on the show, we can go, hey, we're not going all in. We have more the capital on the sidelines. If it does break, we will $dollar cost entry in, part of the strategy. So for now, I don't think we will need to hopefully tie up capital on a third bid here. Same thing for Telcoin. We will do a a current price, and then these I'll do it after the show. And if it does look like it's moved, I'll update it like I did Aave, and copy and paste. But I think those would be a couple of reasonable entries. And I mean, just to refresh people, just say thank me later. Telos. Well, we definitely nailed this one, and we missed these two. And we're in critical. So I am expecting that belly. We will be watching. I will leave these in just in case, because not all critical means the price isn't going down. So just want to keep an eye on
three little red soldiers popping down, which indicates a little bit of an up for me. So,
or just 1, 2, 3 in a row.
Well, those, and then of course the rest of it. But I was talking about those little ones. Yeah.
Excited to see, like I said, few days and up. We could be seeing some real nice possibilities here of getting back up to these levels, then hopefully these, and even just a localized high, 60%. That would be great.
Sweet. That'd be amazing.
And it's in a buy in the formation to turn. Want to be conscious of time just because we're getting there, and it is our last one. We added 2 to the, to the list. I mean, this
snacks. That's wild.
This is a great example of hit in profit, and absolutely just fabulous. And why we do this kind of a style. We got the belly, and now we have our target, our first short-term target. And obviously that's kind of the middle, we'll say. So that would be our average entry, 12%. That only took since Monday to come down. Hopefully it only takes till Monday to get back up there, and we reassess, take profits, hold long term, or see what we do. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the now 14 trades that we have for you lined up. We'll do a lot of focus on those over the next little bit, and excited to keep checking in. I'll post those entries momentarily in our Discord, and not financial advice, of course.
All right. Well, let's. You're going to be there one more day tomorrow, right? And then, so we'll be right here. Let's see how long the internet holds out tomorrow, and we'll check and see how we did, man. I'm excited. End of the week. Let's do it. See you later, guys. Thanks for hanging. Had a great time. Bye, Ann America. Hopefully you got some sleep last night. All right. Bye, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Later, Pope.